Hello, one and all. Welcome back to the Mind's Eye Theater. I am your host, Inkarnate, welcoming you back. This is actually, this is the second watch party of the week. This is the third broadcast of the week. So I've had my hands full, I'm happy to say, because after all, idle hands are the devil's work. So I just wanted to mention... Lycans and gentlemen, children of the night, nocturnals, night terrors, and all things that go bump in the night. Welcome to your monthly, or now weekly, treatment of shock therapy. The doctor will see you now. Consider us, soon to be us, your night watchmen for this evening's festivities here at the Mind's Eye Theater. So, we invite you to violate curfew with us for this graveyard shift. I am your horror host Inkarnate for this sold-out show. Joining me tonight, eventually, will be Traumadom. So, I would like to welcome everyone here to the Critters Watch Party, which is not only a watch party, but the 35-year anniversary. This one crept up on me. I like to do anything that I don't like to do just like random watch parties. Something that comes out on streaming, something that is for instance, like next week we're watching the Evil Dead 2013 remake, which is in a dual sense. We're doing it, one, because the Evil Dead Rise comes out in 2 weeks, the Friday after, and it just so happens that it is celebrating a 10-year anniversary. So this one, I definitely wanted to do something for Easter, and it just so happened that this fits in with the Easter theme and obviously horror. So we have hors d'oeuvres appetizers in the form of a chat poll, and the main course, a salad of your choosing, and dessert, tiramisu, for a 5-course meal in store. So, Traumadom is on his way. He'll be joining us shortly. And as far as the film rating, so we always have the options of the totem pole at our disposal. So you can choose from bottom of the burial, shallow grave, or high stakes. And there's Traumadom calling, even though I texted him. Terrific. What have we? So let me give my thoughts as I open up the poll for the rest of y'all's. What do you call it? I saw this. This was a pretty nifty feature. Creature feature, excuse me, when I was a kid watching WB11. Oh my god, that brings me back. What do you call it? I would very much watch these all the time. It was always coming up on Channel 11. And how can I put it? It was really enjoyable, and this was back during a time where this would broadcast on what do you call it? During the I think this would come out during Easter. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. And they would not cut out any of the gory parts. It was actually really enjoyable. And even though this was, they would censor certain things for TV. It was, there's one scene that we'll get to. I won't spoil ahead of time. There's one scene, that, what do you call it? That when you'll see it, I'll be sure to mention it on the stream, but it was pretty gruesome. It definitely traumatized me as a kid. So how can I put it? It was always really enjoyable. I did look forward to it as much as that one part creeped me out. It's always funny. It's like the things that creep you out when you're a kid or the first time you're watching a horror film, it's almost never the things that you would expect. For instance, me being a horror fan, people wouldn't look at me and think that the things that creeped me out as a child were Child's Play, Chucky, and the Leprechaun. But there you have it. So when that particular scene comes up in the film, I'll be sure to point it out. But as far as the film rating, this is obviously a B movie. It's obviously, tongue-in-cheek. I think everybody who's a horror fan knows by now that this movie was meant to be, they were meant to be playing off of, Gremlins. And it's interesting that this film was made by New Line, is owned and made by New Line Cinema, right? And they were copying, basically, again, I don't want to use the word ripoff, but they were competing with Gremlins, and it would eventually become that New Lines would get absorbed into the house that Freddy built would get absorbed into Warner Brothers. So it's interesting now that they basically kind of own their own competition, even though obviously Gremlins was much more the popular of the two monsters and the two franchises. And it's hard to believe. I think Critters is still ongoing to a certain extent. I know that they made, I think it was on Shudder, they made like a pseudo sequel, and it was meh, kind of poorly received. They haven't done anything with Gremlins. I know they want to make a show, and the guy that the guy in Gremlins, the main guy, he's going to be coming back playing a different role, but those I would give this a high stakes just because I like it as a B movie. It's enjoyable. It's not one of those B movies that does something to like uplift it out of a B movie, like I would say a 13 Ghosts, but it doesn't have to. It's understood that it is a creature feature and it knows what it is. So now is your opportunity, if you're watching, to take a gander over at the totem pole. The totem pole is only live on is only live on the YouTube chat, and it's available now. Give me one quick second because Tramadom can't follow simple directions. Sorry about that. So now that that's up, I will be giving, one second. So I'll be giving reminders throughout the night to check over into the totem pole and for you to cast your vote, whether or not you have seen this before, whether or not you enjoy the movie. If you haven't and you're watching this for the first time, by all means, feel free to give the totem pole a vote regarding your expectations of the film. So, naturally, I invite you to stream the film along with us, queue it up on Tubi, and let me take care of some housekeeping items. I will be providing timestamps throughout the watch party to make sure that your viewing experience is synced up with ours, as well as for the convenience of anyone joining who's casually late to the party. So, this stream is brought to you in partnership with Hotness TV. If you're in the market, please use the sponsorship links in the description for either Jabra headsets or Samsung devices. The links that we have, they run the gamut as well as does both of those markets. Samsung, I mean, Jesus, what don't they own? A sibling of mine actually bought, I didn't even know that they made these, Samsung washer and dryers, so go figure. They make TVs, tablets, cell phones, surround sound, sound bars, 4K Blu-ray home theaters. Jabra headsets run the gamut of in-ear earbuds, over-the-head headsets, and audio conference equipment. Now, as the Mind's Eye Theater is a proud affiliate of the upcoming horror documentary Mental Health and Horror. So once that comes out, I actually will be doing a review of it on the main channel. You will notice that the support link at the top of the stream has reverted to my PayPal account. I am afraid that I actually have some sad news. It came to my attention not too long ago that the what do you call it? The campaign that I had been contributing to and, you know, giving shout outs on my channel, the ASYLUM funding, American McGee's third game in his Wonderland trilogy. Unfortunately, parent company EA that owns the Alice license has pulled the plug on funding. I only just learned this today, and in fact, about 2-3 hours ago. I was hoping to dedicate my channel throughout the month of April and the Easter Feaster event to raising support and awareness for the American McGee crowdfunded video game, Alice Asylum. Unfortunately, you know, EA returned with their response regarding licensing of the project with a denial. So, I wanted to mention that up top. I had been pushing that all week on my channel, and like I said, this news came to me today. But as unfortunate as that news is, the show must go on. So, if you're of a mood to support the channel, you can do so through our PayPal link. I'll just consider it your pound of flesh. So, the streaming service that we're using, called Streamlabs, was nice enough to give us a merch link. It's streamlabs.com/mindgamesinc/merch. So, we come to you live streaming on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and once again, Rumble. Now, I hate to mention this, but when it's full power to social media censors, advisories must be made. If you're watching, 2 key items. Firstly, if the watch party gets cut off on any platform you're watching, feel free to catch me over on any of the other platforms. So if it's on YouTube and things, the stream gets cut off, you can catch me over on Facebook, for instance. Again, links in the description. Secondly, the following day, I will repost any interrupted Mind's Eye Theaters on YouTube. It'll just appear as a regular video instead of a stream. So, lastly, in the enduring battle between Inkarnate and the almighty algorithm, my fans are my strongest weapon. So, if you don't want to support, it's understandable. Times are tough. If you don't want to subscribe, that's understandable as well. I just do ask that if you're watching, you hit the likes up the thumbs up like, because it just helps to push this video along and recommends to other people. Therefore, without further ado, we now offer you this creature presentation. Again, this is up on Tubi, so feel free to watch along with us. And we are playing now. And of course there's an ad, because why wouldn't there be? This is one of those, you're gonna laugh, but this is one of those movies that, as much as I enjoy watching and going back to see it, I've never seen the first one, at least not to my recollection. I very much, it was one of those, like, franchises where the WB would only play one of the films, you know. Back in the day, okay, now we're starting. Back in the day, it was just like that. Like, they would play the Star Wars movies, right? They would play what is it? A New Hope, right? But that's it. Like, you'd be lucky if you even caught what was the other? It caught any other film in the franchise. And I don't know, Critters 2 was just one of those types of movies, or that they would only ever play. And I don't know, it was just like that. Not that I was complaining, because I was happy to be able to enjoy that. And I I honestly don't think that I know anyone that was in this movie now that I think about it. Oh, Lin Shaye, there we go. That's the one person that I know, and only because she was in a one of the Nightmare on Elm Streets. Other than that, your guess is as good as mine is as far as who's acting in this. Oh, so now we're in the low rent LV-426. I kid. I know this is a budget movie. I'm not expecting the world. Mick Garris. I know the director more than I know like the vast majority of the cast here. I think in Eli Roth's History of Horror, when they did the creature feature, the episode that should have been two different videos or two different episodes on. He was talking about how everyone tried to rip off Gremlins, including him, and he did Critters. Ooh. Well, blew the ass out of that thing. Yeah, like I guess that they're called Krites in this movie. I guess the Krites are themselves aliens. That's why they're being hunted here. Looks like a member of the Blue Man Group caught some hair dye, or he's just made out of pancake mix. You gotta love that 80s rock star hair. Well, not on him. Taking off from Uranus. That's not the direction you want your laser gun pointed at you. Your death ray. He's putting a toe tag on an alien head. Is that Yoda? You know for a fact that Predator 2 ripped off that trophy case. Oh dear Lord. Yeah. Yeah, so if they were native to Earth, they wouldn't be, these bounty hunters wouldn't be heading there, which makes me wonder what the hell happened in the... this is one of those things where a question crops up because you didn't see the first one, so I'm guessing the Krites are actually aliens. It's funny how they just jump right in, like they don't give you any kind of context. Nope, space bounty hunters on a mission. Kill some gremlins. I think that they've made like 5 of these films. They made 4 back in the 80s, late 80s, 90s. And they made one recently, which was poorly received, which is amazing to me because how do you screw up that formula? It's a B movie. And you had 4 other films to pull from. Space porcupines. That's a good... Wow, I never made that connection. They're like carnivorous hedgehogs. One of the farms outside of town speak very peculiar like. God, can this kid be any more ginger? Here come the country bumpkins. I love looking back at movies like this and seeing how 80s some of them are. The Blob also gets that kind of feel. See, The Blob is kind of like one of those examples of B movies that it's an elevated version of a B movie. This one is pure B movie, which, hey, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that because I do love me some, sci-fi cheese. And this is why this fits the Easter motif. Or I should say, this is why they made it an Easter horror film. Probably some broken china. See, now, the fact that he mentions antique store, I wonder if that is a reference to Gremlins. The first Gremlins. The china shop where I think the guy's name is David. His father first finds, he first finds the Mogwai. Not for nothing, you wouldn't think on the surface that like Easter would have anything to do with horror or just horror in general, even though it represents the halfway point to Halloween in the calendar year. But the fact that, the whole thing about eggs and like fertility, you think that would be more exploited within horror. And again, just for the simple fact of making a cheesy B movie. Typical girl at Camp Park. And I don't know if she was in the first one. I don't know if this character was in the first one, but she kind of reminds me of the Phoebe Cates character from Gremlins. I always imagined the thought of like an Easter egg hunt, some kind of creature that like lays eggs. They exploited that concept in one of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer episodes that I remember. But I just think you could get a lot of mileage out of that, like similar to how Killer Clowns from Outer Space tinkered with that formula of space and clowns or alien motifs and clowns. I think that you could get a lot of mileage out of the idea that I'm talking about. Some kind of creature laying eggs and they get mixed in with Easter eggs, and it's not an Easter egg hunt. What the thing that's doing the hunting are, the film's threats. Just an idea. Bradley Brown? Must be nice to live in a dead end. To live in a town that is itself a cul-de-sac. Jesus, dude, take it easy. Take it easy. Oh, everything is so bright and chipper. Looks like the type of place that Freddy Krueger would work. Oh, God. That's something that was kind of obnoxious growing up. Like, actually, you can think of a lot of the candy that comes out on Easter as, like, Halloween candy, even though it's far inferior. Like, what the hell was up with that Gamble chocolate with freaking egg yolk in it? Like, who the hell? What mad scientist thought of that? Speaking of monstrosities. Oh my god. Look at her neck. Jesus. What? You tasted that? Jesus. What is a gingerbread witch? Oh god. It's Hunter Biden. Oh lord. Jesus, lady. What kind of school are you running here? Well, better that than having drag queens stand in front of them, right? You know I'm right. The dude in the leather jacket. He looks like the jerk that died at the beginning of Final Destination. What is it, 2 or 3? The guy that got impaled by a ladder, a fire escape ladder. See, this was back when, you know, movies would reference other movies without being, you know, the whole self-aware garbage. Oh god. Ugh. What are those beetles, right? That's what the car is called. They're ladybugs, beetles. I'll never forget when those came back in the 2000s. I was like, what the hell, man? What better example of how crappy the 2000s were than just like needless throwbacks like that? Oh, look at that. The cliche of the sheriff that lives on the outskirts of town. Jesus, what a charmer. Oh, wow. Oh, so it's the retired sheriff that's come out of that's on the outskirts. Was that sound effect on purpose? Why are these two affiliated? So, a bit of trivia: the director of this, Mick Garris, he had wanted to get Frank Welker to do the voices of the Krites, but he did one of the voices on Scooby Doo. But Mick Garris couldn't get him, so he ended up doing most of the voices himself and hiring a loop group to provide additional vocals for them. Did he just steal his stash of Playboys? That's not creepy at all. Oh, God. Not for nothing, but in a lot of ways, this is like such a perfect setup. Oh, God. This is another, like, notable thing about this movie. Oh, Frank Welker plays Fred in Scooby Doo. And this guy's a shapeshifter. Jesus, this guy's teeth. You would think he was playing the role of the Easter Bunny in this. Aw, poor feller. Great conversation. Oh God, this guy's voice. I, man. Oh God. This doof. He just, I don't remember if there was like a quintessential 80s film bully. Oh God. Wow, this guy's awfully confident. And our Marty McFly. Oh, Biff, of course. Eddie Deason, that the geek behind the counter. He has a hysterical face and voice. Jesus. Mm-hmm. You don't say. He looks like Liv Schreiber. Well, that backfired instantly. Uh-oh, older girl. Megan. Was she in the first one, I wonder? Let's see. Wow, he really said that. Way to completely blow your shot. Wow, Billy Zane was in the first Critters. I did not know that. So was Dee Wallace? Oh my God, I really need to get on that first film. No, this girl Megan was not in the first one. Uh-oh. Is Pops gonna get it? Oh, Jesus Christ. I've never had a pet, really. Do they still... Oh, yo! Oh my God, ew. Oh, Lord. Jesus Christ. Let me know if they still serve dog food like that in a can. Ugh. Yeah. You won't be saying that in about 10, 20 minutes. Is that a cigar for smoking or chewing? Wow, an egg with scales on it. Oh, here. Okay, guys, we're hitting the 20-minute mark in 3, 2, 1. Remember to hit the like button and the vote in the totem poll in the YouTube chat. Yes, hold it very close to your chest. This is the type of alien that bursts into your chest, not out of it. God almighty. Eek. Oh man. Like, I'm not the biggest car guy, but seeing vehicles before the 90s is rough on the eyes, to say the least. That plus my murder spree. Give me a second, guys. Oh, you're keeping them warm? Why would you do that? Dear God. Oh, such a lovely scene, isn't it? I'm gonna crack one open and cook it for you. It's what? Oh, Lord. They're like, not only are these scaly, but like the pigment on them. And we got an ad. Phooey. Yeah, the pigment on them looks like freaking, what do you call it? The pigment on them looks like snake scale or snake coloring. So, I don't think we've seen her yet. Lin Shaye? I never put two and two together. Lin Shaye was the younger sister of the founder of New Line Cinema, Robert Shaye. I know about Bob Shaye, as I've heard him referred to. He was the producer on all of the Nightmare on Elm Street films. I never put two and two together that Lin Shaye was his sister, and she was found in countless New Lines films, including obviously this one. I mentioned A Nightmare on Elm Street. She was in Dumb and Dumber. I don't know. I don't know what role she would have played. It probably would have been a bit part. And she's the mother in the Insidious movies. I think that's the mother. Or wait, she plays a role in the Insidious movies. I don't care about those films. I was catching up on good Star Trek shows today. It's crazy to me how it depends on the streaming service that you watch, but like the number of ads that they've literally put ads in the commercial breaks, but like every single one. It's obnoxious. If I'm not mistaken, that happens with like old Trek, not necessarily Picard, but they'll have like the one at the beginning, but they have, and the ads run about half as long as traditional commercials did, because traditional commercials used to last like 4 minutes and these last a little over 2, which you just wait. Not only is the price of streaming eventually, like collectively, gonna get to the price of cable and satellite, but the commercials, man, Jesus. It's just like, hey, remind everybody, what was the point of streaming? What the hell am I watching right now? I just saw a commercial with, I think this is for like meds. Biktarvy of a rather large woman dancing with a guy. I don't know what that's about. Biktarvy. Oh God. Moving on. Okay, and we're back. This guy looks like a cross between a hobo and a travel agent or a used car salesman. Something about the straw hat and the mustache. Wow. When your fridge looks like an unclean microwave, you've probably digested what's growing in there. Oh boy. What the hell? Did they eat the dog? Oh boy. Yep. Well, that was your third mistake? I can't even call it your first one. But you won't live too long to regret it. Nice tie, by the way. I'm wondering if they show the dog being... Oh, wow. Did I call that or what? Looks like they... Yeah. Wow. Oh, the Sonic the Hedgehog is caught up with him pretty quickly. Ouch. Oh my god, ow. And... well, at least you'll join your dog. God, you gotta love the... you can only imagine how these people had to react to getting basically carnivore tribbles attacking them. Oh, I didn't know that was her sister. Nobody thinks it's weird that these eggs have scales on them. Fascinating. And the man himself has arrived. Your headphones are ready for you, sir.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Traumadom. We're about 25 minutes in. You just missed the hobo getting devoured.
Yeah. I've actually never seen this movie.
Get out! You've never seen... oh, man.
I was a Gremlins kid.
Yeah, this was like meant to quote-unquote compete with Gremlins,
yeah.
But... you know, it's tongue-in-cheek. It knows that it's a ripoff, so... you know, I've never seen the first one.
Never seen the first one.
First one of this. This is Critters 2. So, like I was saying, to me, a movie like The Blob is a B movie, but it's like
it's a classic.
It's got enough that it propels it beyond just like a B movie.
Yeah.
This is a B movie, but like I'm elated. Like, this is what a B movie should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pure cheese. It knows that it is. It's creative. It's got its creative parts. It's got its creative and creepy kills. It's cheesy. It has an element of humor to it. You know, it's what a B movie should be, generally speaking. Uh-oh.
Alright, where do these things come from?
Apparently it was explained in the first film that they are aliens.
Okay.
Every time we get back to this, it's gonna start with the dramatic music. Oh man, you shouldn't have fed it after 12 p.m.
Yeah, right.
Don't get it wet. Wait a minute, wasn't it on the bed?
It looks like a sloth. It's phone.
It's going for the phone. Fresh meat.
Or not. Now, are either of these main characters in anything?
Funny you should ask. Like, I don't remember anybody in this in anything else. Although, like I said before you arrived, the girl in it she has like that, you know, girl next door kind of look.
I'm getting that.
Similar to Phoebe Cates in... oh, crap. She reminds me of Phoebe Cates from Gremlins. Oh, Jesus Christ. That looks like the thing that I killed in my bathroom this morning.
Oh, jeez.
Cow country.
Nice.
You look exhausted from work.
It's just been a bad week.
I hear you.
Even worse, too. So it's definitely good.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait. What are they painting?
The eggs of the critters.
Where did they find these? If you haven't noticed, guys, I have not been here for the first 20 minutes.
No, I told them that you were arriving later on. So this got sold to them This got sold to the church by some hobo looking to make a buck, and they're painting them for Easter. Uh-oh.
You gonna die.
Yes, very, very hauntingly.
Yeah?
You'll see.
Oh, wow.
Don't you want to listen in?
Yeah, right now I gotta, like...
Decompress?
Yeah, a bit.
Gotcha. Nice of them to bring us to this geriatric farm.
Yes, where all the other eggs are incredibly obvious, and these are soccer ball looking.
Not like, yeah, I was saying that before. Like, nobody thought it a little strange that these eggs have scales on them. Like, where do they come from? Game of Thrones?
No, I haven't seen any eggs like that. I've seen emu eggs, ostrich eggs, alligator eggs, crocodile eggs. I've seen them all, and they don't have weird little grooves like
I think I said I've seen them all, and I've eaten them all.
Yeah.
Nothing like a gator
I haven't
omelet.
had gator or alligator. I haven't had gator or crocodile eggs. Emu eggs are good. Ostrich eggs are good.
Uh-oh. I was saying, not to be repetitive, but I was saying before, I'm surprised that like the notion of you know, because you have Easter eggs, obviously, for April, for the April holiday. It's weird to me that nobody else has done anything with that concept. Like, there just happens to be a monster that's laying eggs and like luring people to its young, so that its young could have something to eat. That's
a good concept.
It's weird. Like, only Buffy the Vampire did anything with that. That's the girl. That's the main guy. Uh-oh. That's Bill Burr when he was a kid.
And
that's Bill Burr as an old man.
It's Kurtwood. What's his name?
What?
Kurtwood. From That 70s Show.
I don't know.
All right. Let me get a charger. Oh, and I am going to be working...
Dripping down to my skibbies. Huh?
I'm going to be working the early shift next week.
I don't know what that means.
It means Friday I'll be getting out at 3:30.
Ah. Next Friday is Evil Dead.
It is.
That's the one No, Evil Dead remake for the watch party.
Are we doing it through the drive-thru, or are we going to do it...
Evil Dead watch party for the remake. Evil Dead Rises comes out in 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks, okay.
Freaking funny. Oh, Jesus. Funny you should ask. It's all sorts of things are going wrong today. Oh, God. All sorts of things are going wrong today. I just found out that I just got the message that Warwick Drive-In Theater, for whatever reason that they don't have, they're not doing pre-sales online. I'm like, I hope that you have to purchase tickets there. I'm like, I hope they fix that by next week, because I really don't want to I want to be able to reserve our ticket.
They not.
I don't know. We'll see.
That being such a I mean, dude, I don't care what Rotten Tomatoes or anybody says. Like, that's got to be waiting on. If we're waiting on it to come out, other people have to.
No.
And that's like the perfect drive-thru movie.
Yeah. This is what I was talking about before. This scene. Oh my God, this freaked me out as a kid. So the sheriff is dressed up as the Easter Bunny. Finds the cracked eggs.
So these things are
bends
only
over,
the size of a softball.
And now gets face hugged. I'm kidding. Oh. Oh my God. And knowing what they do, and knowing that they just devour, that's like what they do.
Do they grow?
Slightly, not huge. God, this guy has piercing eyes, dear Lord. And I think they show how badly he's mauled with his helmet off. Yeah. Oh my God, that freaked me out as a kid.
Yeah? It looks like he was shot.
Yeah, right?
A couple of times. It looks like he was shot.
She remember Phoebe Cates in Gremlins?
Yes.
She reminds me. This character
A
reminds me
lot.
of her. Like girl next door, sweetheart, love interest, blah blah.
Genuinely pretty.
Yes. Well, he got his phallus chewed off and his balls devoured, so that's kind of one of those things that a man doesn't forget.
Amen.
I just found out today Cocaine Bear starts streaming next Friday?
Oh, what?
Peacock.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Unfortunately, we already have something picked out for next Friday.
Mm.
And I highly doubt you want to do a watch party next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
What I was thinking is that Living with Chucky, a documentary about obviously Chucky, that's available now on Screambox. So, you know, we're halfway through. Today's only the first week of April, and we're already halfway through our watch parties. So I was thinking that since April is so busy, May only has one watch party on the schedule. What we could do is do Cocaine Bear in May, as well as Living with Chucky documentary in May as well.
I like that.
Okay. How you doing there, boy? He's playing dumb. Jesus, look at how...
Or he may actually just be dumb.
His teeth are rotten to the point of tree bark.
That's what doing dip does, guys.
I didn't even think of that, yeah.
Chewing tobacco.
Chewing tobacco.
That's the one thing I can never do.
What?
Cigarettes. Clove cigarettes. Cigars. Stogies. Hookah. Pot. Chewing tobacco? It's like putting shit in your mouth.
You paint with words, Tramadom.
Yeah, one doesn't want
He's like, I hereby deputize you.
Yay!
That'll turn the car around. Oh, look at that. I almost forgot about our bounty hunters. Well, the attempt is made at practical effects. You could tell that was fake as hell. But, you know, that's part of the charm. I wish we had movies like this now that, you know, they're B movies, they take some kind of chance, and they know what they are. They know it's like more comedy than anything else. They know that they're tongue-in-cheek. But look at how this is a classic, you know what I mean? Oh, just like home. Piece of apple pie. Oops. Yeah. What the hell were the... I was going to say, what were those things called in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Putties? Yes, putties. No, don't look like me. Well done, movie. Wow, and think, this was back in the 80s. Now if you want to look like that, you got to get a BBL. I like how the clothes were already loose-fitting, but no. And one would think that they would have loose-fitting clothes in case they do need to shapeshift. This is great. She even mimicked the staple. Unreal. Is all she's wearing are boots and a belt? And a thong? Yep.
What's it?
Dumpy ass. No, you got here late. Another ad. So the props for the eggs were apparently sugar apples, which I don't know what fruit or what form of apple is shaped like an egg. So the Playboy magazine that Charlie finds is the issue of March 1979. So it's shown that the female form Lee takes is the centerfold for the issue. However, the actress that played the female Lee, Roxanne Kernohan, was never in Playboy magazine, though she did appear in the video Playboy Sexy Lingerie a year later. The centerfold for that issue was Denise McConnell. So, a bit of trivia for you. I'm guessing that the movie itself will advise us when we're at 20-minute intervals, since that's when the ads appear.
Water?
Yes, please. It's hard. Yeah, I think that both the scene where I almost called them tribbles. The scenes where the critters enter the guy's crotch, as well as seeing him all bloodied and dead in the church. I believe those were seen in the TV version. I don't think they took out anything from this film on TV.
They didn't need to.
Well, it's
Just from watching so far.
you got to understand, like, back in the day. Okay, we're back. Back in the day, like, channels had balls, you know.
Yeah.
They did cut stuff out that was like intense gore, but some stuff they left in. Jesus.
What the hell is that?
She looks like the town gossiper. Like the one that you see at church that's like overly friendly and passive aggressive.
See, whenever I see that, I always think of that Gremlins scene. In the first one, with the cat lady who was on the chair.
Oh yeah.
Whoosh!
Yes. I had seen I didn't see, thank you. Could you lock the door? I didn't see Gremlins, the original. I'm going to crush this on your head.
Yeah?
On your melon head.
Yeah, go for it.
Have all the ice get caught in your hair.
Yeah.
I did not see the original.
She looks familiar. The gossiper.
Oh, that's Lin Shaye.
From?
A Nightmare on Elm Street, Insidious. Holy crap.
Ah.
I'm pretty sure he would have been more
So she's
devoured
made
than
terrible
that.
movies forever.
Nightmare on Elm Street's not a terrible movie.
Was
Oh,
it?
they did grow. Look at that. Holy crap. That was worse. I forgot about that. They shoot thorns.
So those
See-
are like quills of steel.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, Jesus.
Oh no.
Put on your seatbelts.
I'm just trying to gauge the size, like. Oh.
I love that big. Oh, Jesus. And naturally, the tire isn't flattened, right? I love how.
What the hell?
I love how it's just basically fur balls that they're tossing onto
Yeah.
the scene. We're at the 41-minute mark in 2-1 now. Remember to like the video and vote in the poll. That goes extra for you, Trauma Dom.
Mm-hmm.
Saucy granny. What, do you have a critter repellent?
Uh-oh. Get your squirrel musket, boy.
What?
Out there, one of them's gotta have a squirrel musket.
Actually, funny you mentioned that. He kind of does look like Davy Crockett.
I was thinking more of the Beverly Hillbillies.
Or that works too.
No, but I got a lot of love for the Midwest.
Instantly they show up.
What blew up?
The door.
I'm aware, but doors don't blow up when you push buttons.
You don't know that for a fact.
Yeah,
My door is rigged too.
good.
There you go. A giant penis cannon. Does that answer your question? And she got a new pair of clothes. How? Whoever you are.
So I assume they're aliens. Or
Alien bounty
space
hunters.
travelers.
They're the bootleg Guardians of the Galaxy. Sweet Jesus. That smile. The village idiot. But I do keep a flask with me. Well, I gotta get me some local hookers, and then I'm out of town. I'm out of your hair. It's very deep.
Well, you do have that one guy and that half-naked chick who've probably been to a few places.
Can you hear the movie at all? Mm-hmm. Oh. Wow, they didn't waste any time getting that news line out. No mention of my heroics. The closest we have to a modern, well, yeah, I guess the closest we have to a modern take on this, like this type of B movie level material, is Slither from 2006.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, did you ever see that with James Gunn?
Probably through different parts.
That's got Elizabeth Banks in it. It's got Nathan Fillion. Who else does it have? God, this guy's voice. What the hell is strapped to their back? It looks like an open lunch tray. I know for a fact that they had a scene like this in Gremlins.
Of course they did. Not like this, but quite similar.
I know they had the bar scene at the end.
Yeah.
Well, she wasted no time getting fashionable. What an idiot. Even though he's standing on the grill. Oh my gosh.
But he is burned.
He's getting aroused. That's what that means. So is she. You monsters.
Why don't you shoot him now?
I'm gonna put that on your tab.
One of them? So that gigantic gun only kills one of them.
I guess. Oh. I forgot that they spoke. Oh, Jesus. That's also kind of traumatizing.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that... Oh, they are growing. Look at that. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Really? It's so stupid. Like, it astounds me. You get a movie like this, and obviously this is, 35 years old, but this is the type of, B movie that we used to get, and people are over here praising Megan as, some kind of return to form for campy movies. I'm like, dude, if you're praising Megan for anything, you don't know what camp is. Oh, no, they didn't grow. They just bonded.
I mean, they did kind of. They went from Chihuahua size to terrier size. That's about it.
The evolution of evil.
Oh. What?
Uh-oh. It's a varmint. Oh, it is one of them. I thought it was a dog. And he's down for the count.
Poisonous?
I guess so. Well, I mean, it did hit him in the neck.
Yeah.
Even if it's not. Nope, sorry. Get the hell out of town.
Yeah, it's much all those Midwest values.
Yeah, right?
That is a bitchin' old truck, though.
Ugh. I was saying before...
I like that one truck from the Expendables, man. I would get that in a second.
I don't even remember.
Oh, fuck. Which one is that one?
Don't forget to vote and like the video.
Oh, you're going to drive me another 5 times, man. I didn't even check out from work.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going to eat shit for that.
Is he? For all you know, he can turn into one of those things. Uh-oh. Going our way. She just had to grab something on the way out. Damn, they blew that place to hell. Oh, God. Jesus.
What is...
You'll see. Oh, no. I love the deflated sound. Of all the people she's come across, she just had to mimic him. Why? Oh, yeah.
Why is she mimicking and I
don't know. Comedic effect.
So she can mimic, but Twisted Sister can't.
No. I don't know why. Apparently it just shoots sparklers, not very effective. And they made sure not to give him a gun.
What's tragic is putting on changing shape did not do anything for that outfit.
No.
Whatsoever. That poor boy.
And we cut to dusk for some strange cut. So apparently this was David Twohy's, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. This was his first writing credit. This was the guy that penned, he would go on to pen Waterworld, G.I. Jane.
Ooh, I like Waterworld.
and all of the Chronicles of Riddick.
They weren't bad.
What? The Riddick?
Chronicles of Riddick were just...
The first one was good. The second one had potential. The third was just blah.
Yeah.
I forgot how quick like I said, this movie's a very lean hour and a half. We're coming up on the hour mark. Oh Jesus, remember those?
Yeah.
Local video rentals. Mine was Palmer Video. What was yours? Besides Blockbuster, obviously.
Oh wow, I don't even remember.
Check this out. This I also remembered. Uh-oh. So this was a bit of product placement because both Critters 2 and A Nightmare on Elm Street were New Line Cinema properties. So, and as I said before, the Robert Shea, Lynn Shea's brother, he being the co-founder of New Line Cinema, he figured it was obvious that to have a little bit of product placement. And by 1988, which is when this film came out, you know, we were like in the midst of the Nightmare on Elm Street craze. This wasn't the first time that they had a, well, like I mentioned before, her name was Charlie, or wait, I'm sorry, no, Roxanne Kernohan. She was never in Playboy, she was in a Playboy video.
Oh, yeah?
But it wasn't the first time that they had, in the 80s, someone who, damn, she didn't even get a shot off, Jesus, some hunter. It wasn't the first time that they had someone affiliated with Playboy in a horror film. I believe it was Friday the 13th Part 5. They had this really busty chick. And if you just Google...
Part 5? The blonde one?
Brunette. Just Google Friday the 13th 5 and Playboy and you'll see... Actually, let me do that.
Let's see. My phone's about to die.
Friday the 13th 5. What did they find?
The arm.
Oof. Jeez. Debbie Sue Voorhees. Oh, yes, that's right. Her name was Voorhees. Debbie Sue Voorhees. Oh, Jesus. What the hell just happened? Oh. His face turned into a balloon. Debbie Sue...
Oh, wow. Very.
Oh, yes. And another break in 2, 1. Sorry, guys. So, yeah, she was in Friday the 13th, Part 5. And let me see when that came out. That was the one without Jason that everyone hates, including me. Not that I'm a big Friday fan. 1985.
He's very inspirational as a villain.
Inspirational?
Very. No matter how slow you go,
actually, I
you
do.
always get there.
Yeah. I do have to agree with, and it's very unfortunate that he was Jason and Friday the 13th were influential. I'm not a fan. I make it very clear. I am not a fan of of slashers. It really isn't my genre. That and the vast majority of zombie movies. Like, I'm gonna be coming out with a video over all the reasons why I'm not a fan of zombie movies or slashers.
Slashers, yeah, I can do without slashers.
Uh,
Zombies, did you know that the military has a contingency plan?
The
military has a contingency plan for such an event. I've heard this before.
yeah, it started during the Bush administration.
Something like that.
And I could understand a viral outbreak, but no, it actually says zombies.
Yeah.
Which is like, that just blows my mind. I would like to just for sheer kicks, I'd like to read it one day. What was I gonna say? So I'm not a fan at all of the 2000s horror. I think that decade was terrible, and and part of the reason why is because of the glut of zombie movies. But my favorite zombie movies came out in that decade. 4, in fact. 28 Weeks Later, Dawn of the Dead remake. Oh my god, the one in the apartment. Wreck? No, not Wreck. What the hell's it called? Damn, it's on the tip of my tongue. If I don't look it up, it's gonna bother me. And another one that's evading that Grindhouse, Planet Terror.
I have seen the movie once.
It's good. I like it. Okay, and we're back to the film.
Now, you know what slasher movie I can do without? It really messed me up. And I was older when it came out. 30 Days a Night.
30. That's not a slasher. Quarantine, that's the movie. 30 Days of Night's a vampire movie.
Yeah, but it's still a slasher. If they were not vampires and they went through an Alaskan town at night and cut off all lines of communication, if you took the vampire aspect out of that frame,
okay,
what would it be?
Not a slasher.
What would it be?
Not a slasher.
But what would it be?
Any other monster.
It's not me trying to get you to say slasher. At this point, it's what would it be?
What could it be? It could be an alien invasion.
All right, if they were just normal people, who just wanted to kill a bunch of people and get away with it.
They could be serial killers. They could be just a roving gang of murderers. Doesn't have to be slashers.
Yeah, but which genre of terror would you put that in? Just run of the mill?
Thriller.
That's what I'm saying. All right.
Where are we at?
I don't know. Is it a tumbleweed?
Yeah, right?
Oh, look.
Wow, I can't believe we're already here at the hold up in the church, last stand.
Well, did you know that it's a common misconception that in Westerns that you were not allowed to bring a gun into church?
You were not?
It was actually pretty common.
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that.
There was only one place you absolutely were never allowed to bring a gun.
Oh my god. And she sees the whole thing?
Yeah.
Where were you not allowed to bring a gun?
The bar.
Wow. Really?
Really, really.
How's about that?
Well, you were allowed to bring it through the front door, but they had a strict leave your gun at the door policy. Which is why whenever you see a Western,
yeah,
or any of these horror movies that involve a Western,
at the OK.
What the
These things were chasing cars before. How would they not be able to catch up to her? And she was safe near the church, and then she decided to go for a stroll with her bike. What I was saying before, it's like, shooting these scenes must have been hysterical because you're probably, really? The tripping victim falls over on a tricycle, excuse me. And his legs clearly aren't working. There's a new sheriff in town, or an old one. Oh yeah. Awesome.
That was some lousy shooting there, Tex. See? Chewing tobacco.
Awesome. Badass. They should have had this guy more in this movie. Oh my god. Aw, poor cows. One way or another. They do have a murder rate of, 100%. That's some grade A beef right there.
Now, were there really that many eggs, or are these things multiplying on their own?
I think there were that many eggs. And considering that all that they do is eat, it wouldn't surprise me if they are making more themselves.
Oh, so there's no, like, mother that crash landed.
No, there's no...
reducing them.
There's no queen critter.
Yeah, there you go.
What I was going to say before is... I wish that Tremors was this way. I wish that Tremors is enjoyable, but it's almost too comedic and doesn't have enough like horror in it. And I'm not asking for it to be bloody. I just wish that I just wish that it's almost not horror at all. And it's weird because
I really didn't think it was.
Yeah, right? We just passed the hour mark, so again, guys, remember to hit the like button and vote in the totem poll about your film rating.
And it was a shame, because I really did like the first Tremors.
I think...
Again, Kevin Bacon.
I think all of them are good. That's...
And yeah, the Mr. Miyagi guy.
Yes. Can't forget about him.
No.
I don't want a remake of Tremors, but I do wish that they would.
No.
I wish that they would make a video game adaptation of Tremors.
They did, don't you remember? They did make a video game.
No, I mean like a modern.
In the second one, where the guy lost all his money and Kevin Bacon got rich.
I think they had the arcade still.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
like an actual game. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Take each movie and make it like a chapter in a video game, because obviously a video game is a lot longer than a movie. Tell the boy.
What boy came back?
The ginger.
Come back from where?
Home. To his hometown where he's at now.
Yeah, no, where was he?
I don't know, out of town. We got about 20 minutes left.
Yeah, I know, but remember, I still got... I just gotta wake up. Give me a second. Take a drag.
On our duffs.
Was he ever in anything?
I'm sure he was. Darn tootin'.
It's hard because those aren't gaps. Those are just like dip stains.
They look like wooden teeth.
They're dip stains. Nasty.
And kiss. And who's gonna repay me for all that beef? And who's gonna replace my scarecrow? Don't take any volunteers. Not likely that you'll return there, Biff. This movie needed more of him. Let's all be honest. Slack-jawed Yoko sheriff. Don't take no gruff from nobody. I love how the two bounty hunters are named Ugg and Lee. I didn't realize that until I was an adult. Who's eaten alive there? The guard? Critters 2 is
Polar Bear
actually...
Ice. This had to have been an old movie.
Oh, yes.
Uh-oh.
I love how the other
Rings are
space hunters didn't give him a gun, and his job is doling out primitive guns.
Yeah. You're better off with the rake.
With the rake. Was Polar Ice Burger a thing? I doubt it. I doubt that they'd be able to afford that licensing. Oh, of course, the cheese. Want the whiff of Limburger in the air.
Shit.
Or ketchup. I remember this being a funny line when they talk to each other. Oh, yeah. Get you some. God, I guess Lin Shaye always looked old.
She looks like a fortune teller.
With that
A
hat.
bad one.
I can only imagine how much like people who acted in this were either thoroughly embarrassed or were just having a ball with, you know, I realize that these are like monstrous carnivores, but like it scenes like this, or when people have the critters, the big puff balls like on them, that's all that it is. It's a bit. It's like a big pillow. So they gotta pretend. Oh my God, I'm being eaten alive. I can just imagine. There you go. Hide the TNT. Make sure to make especially sure that you hide the the big bowling ball bomb with the wick outside of it. We don't see enough of those. You'd only see those in cartoons or the original Super Mario movie. Yeah, you would have to rely heavily on your imagination in order to make these rolling hedgehogs seem menacing when they're just, you know, in the rolling phase.
I mean, you gotta look up the inspiration of these things. I guess hedgehog and Tasmanian devil.
I assume.
I'm guessing.
Uh-oh. Seems the winds they are a-changing. Okay, DC sniper. He's near a church bell and he's wearing black and white. And he's got sniper goggles. Everybody's got spy glasses now.
Why do I feel like he's using them the wrong way?
Yeah, right? It looked like that. Here they come. Uh-oh. Complete opposite direction. This movie needed more of that cop and at least another 20 minutes. I love this part. Back we go. Yeah, good thing they don't have guns. Uh-oh. There's Big Kahuna. And even then, like right there aren't a ton of them. They really could take them out all with guns.
Not for nothing.
But then there'd be
Trail
no
of gasoline.
Yeah. Then there'd be no movie.
Yeah. Tractor.
Yeah, or that. gradually
Harvester.
gradually plaster them. This was a cool reveal.
But he ain't coming out.
Nope, and you're about to see why. Why does that one have blood all over its face? It's just a burger. Now for your close-up. And here's why. I thought this was pretty cool. Well, it almost worked. Whoops. Oh, God. I forgot that they bleed green.
Well,
I love the fuse.
the seats.
No more movie. Or so we think. By the way, clearly the axes, the torches, the guns were useless. Another tragedy averted by violence. So... What a douche. So I was mentioning before the Playboy affiliation. Critters 2 is actually the only horror film under the Playboy Enterprises title.
What?
Yep. Uh-oh. And now we have what everyone knows this movie as, or for, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah.
And this is where the movie's budget went, I assume.
Yeah.
Everyone scatter, forget that you have weapons. Oh, this is great. This part's great.
That's actually pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool.
No! We got an ad
That was
coming
the
up.
coolest death in this movie.
Yes. Agreed. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So, this film is included on the film critic Roger Ebert's most hated list. I'm sorry, like, I only mention it because it's trivia, but I have to ask, just because I have seen so many horror podcasters or reviewers throughout over the years put way too goddamn much stock in whatever the hell Siskel and Ebert said or thought. Like, bro, if I think it should be obvious that they don't like horror movies. They crapped all over films like Halloween.
Who is this?
Siskel and Ebert. You never heard of them? Oh, wow. So, like, allegedly they were famous, like, movie critics, but it was obvious that they didn't like horror. And I never understood why horror fans got, like, so offended by that. It's like, dude, if they're not going to look at a film just because it's horror and not base it off of its own merits, then screw them. Like, their opinion doesn't matter and it's not valid. And look at those films that I just named that they didn't like. Halloween, which has been inducted into the Congress of Science or something like that, is basically given the accolade of like a culturally important film. So they didn't like Halloween or Clive Barker's Hellraiser. It's like, bitch, if you can't see that those movies were classics even back then, I don't understand why horror fans take any stock. Oh, they didn't like Evil Dead also, I think, the original Evil Dead. It's like I've never understood.
Just been a beef against Bruce Campbell.
It could have been. I've never understood why horror fans put so much stock in the opinions of people who don't like horror. Like, every year, it never fails. The people put a list together of, oh my god, such and such movie got an Oscar snub. It's like, dude, the Oscars don't care about horror. They don't care about horror. They don't care about comedy. Accept it. Yeah, well, like, is it really a snub at this point when, like 100 years going, you haven't been invited to the same party? Like, get over it already. But if Robert Ebert or Roger Ebert couldn't understand that, this is supposed to be tongue-in-cheek and it's part of his most hated list, like, come on, really? You're telling me that there aren't films, whenever he put that list together, you're telling me that there are movies that aren't worse than Critters 2? Like, seriously? Like, you haven't seen Nicolas Cage's career?
Oh, come on. He's the GOAT.
I will stab you in your...
I'm getting you a Nicolas Cage pillowcase.
I will stab you in the ovaries.
I am so getting those cases.
You're asking for a trauma, Dom.
Hit it with your car. Like,
yeah, right? It'll probably just roll.
They'll eat anything fleshy. That was pretty cool, but like, alright.
Quickly, where there's no exits.
I would say that is the only part of this movie that is not PG.
There were 1 or 2 death scenes before you came.
Well, Sharon getting his nuts bitten off. Alright, I'll throw that in there, but...
What are you thinking? You're letting the girl drive. See what I mean? Really? Hey? That's what I mean!
Hey, at least it landed back on his wheels.
Yeah, right. Make a turn at Albuquerque. Everybody, make an easy target. And last minute save. And here we go. I love how the actual bounty hunter didn't bother, taking his gun out or anything, preparing for this. Wow, that village idiot saved us all.
Yeah.
And all we lost was one village idiot.
He gonna live somehow.
You don't know that for a fact. Just admire this man's courage, that village idiot.
Quick, throw her in the fire.
Why?
She is past her prime.
Oh my god. No women over 30. So there was supposed to be a different actress that played her role, the love interest, a woman by the name of Cheryl Pollock. But get this, she didn't get the role because she couldn't drive stick.
Really?
Well, I don't know if you saw how well this character could drive, but and apparently neither could she.
And that's surprising too. Midwest, out in the country, like that's. I can see why that would be necessary. She really is genuinely pretty. Who is this girl's name?
Let me see. Excuse me. This is my batch of special brownies. Her name is Leanne Curtis.
Oh.
She was in nothing else that you would know.
No. Did she have any kids that were in anything?
16 Candles? I know, that's right up your alley.
16 Candles?
I never saw it.
Really?
No,
You've never
dude.
seen 16 Candles?
No, I've never seen 16 Candles.
I grew up with sisters.
Yeah? Did they practice their makeup on you?
No.
You lie.
You've met my sisters.
You're an ass.
Yeah.
He's alive. Now shoot him. They start making out to trance music. Yeah, you could tell early green screen work. I like that proton pack that they're carrying on their backs. Ah, give us a kiss, love.
Where's the sheriff going?
To Las Vegas. I don't know. He's going to the independent nation of Chad.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. An identical ship. Oh, I guess I'll hitch a ride of my own. God, those teeth.
Dude, it's pretty brutal.
Oof. I mean, like, not only are they buck teeth, but they're, like, spaced apart. Like, can you look like any more like a rabbit? No beam. He just floats up. Well,
they didn't take the drunk with them.
I know, right? He's back where he belongs, and that's all that matters. What the hell are y'all white people about? As you wish. Awfully peculiar? Damn peculiar. Yum, 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 yum. He's getting off on that. That looks so weird. I knew he was going to deputize him. Happy ending for all. Jesus Christ. You could fit another tooth in there.
Yeah.
And so goes our story. So, of what you saw, what did you like? And speaking to the mic.
None of it. Nah, it wasn't bad. Only one thing. Without those, we spent the most picture. Truth is, this is definitely something that I would show to a child.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It is a classic. I don't want to say B movie because Jaws was supposed to be a B movie.
And now our watch has ended.
So that's the thing. Like, oh yeah, more Nicolas Cage. Anyway.
Well, Jaws. Well, here's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's
Jaws and Alien. The original
Exactly.
Alien were supposed to be B movies, but like I said before, the way that they were planned, or the way that they were executed and pre-planned, pre-production, they are examples of an elevated form of a B movie that obviously became cinema classics, horror royalty. There are different kinds of B movies, like, and I don't put, Jaws and Alien, that's like the pinnacle, but
That's what I'm saying. Like,
in my mind, like a 13 Ghosts or the Blob remake, those are B movies that have that extra something that propel it above a B movie. This is a B movie that is a good B movie. Because of the quality in a 13 Ghosts, in a Slither, in a the Blob remake, I would say those are B movies that transcend B movies almost into A movies.
yeah.
However, this is just a good B movie, This is what a B movie.
Classic traditional B movie.
Yeah, cheesy, tongue-in-cheek, funny, not taking itself seriously, good levity, interesting, colorful characters,
Then I would say, yeah. If we're going by those standards, I would say it's a classic B movie.
Yeah. I mean, I always go from, when I'm talking about B movies, I always go from bottom up. If it does transcend the comedic aspect of it, and it's like it gives that extra something that propels it above. Like, think about it. To be honest, the original Orphan is a B movie. It's like a 70s B movie because the premise is exploitation almost, but it's almost like the plot and the twists and the turns and the pacing of the original Orphan are so good that it definitely is elevated above a grimy premise that it's hinged upon. The twist is almost inconsequential because it's such a good film. As far as my thoughts on it, if Roger Ebert can't take a joke, screw him. Before we go any further, I would just like to give a recommendations list, just because I like one thing there are two things I'm trying to add to the watch parties are movie trivia and a recommendations list. Movies that are like the films that we've watched. So obviously what this film is based off of, Gremlins, as well as Leprechaun. Leprechaun we did a watch party for.
Yes.
Last month, about 2-3 weeks back, for St. Patty's Day. So back to my thoughts on this. I very much like it. This movie needed to be another 20 minutes longer and more of the grizzled veteran cop, the sheriff. I like that when my horror movies have like the hint of Western in it. And, you know, I like that this guy was a tobacco chewing, no nonsense type of gruff guy. He isn't like in shape. He's obviously retired for a reason. Yeah. But I like that about this movie.
You know what though? But then that takes away from the 90-minute wonder. I really do like that this is a 90-minute wonder.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's something, it doesn't take up a whole lot of your day. It's something you can watch with a kid.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, not to say Gremlins isn't, but let's face it. I mean, there were some pretty gruesome parts of Gremlins.
The original Gremlins I had seen Gremlins 2, the more family-friendly one. When I saw the original Gremlins...
That was a good movie.
I was like, wow, this is a lot darker than I thought it would be.
Well, it's like when you watch cartoons now. When you watch like Bugs Bunny and stuff, like what would be acceptable now?
I don't know. Oh God, I don't even.
It's pretty brutal.
I don't even try to put myself into. I haven't seen what cartoons now look like.
Awful.
Right, I could imagine awful. But as far as this film is concerned, yeah, I very much enjoyed it. It was a piece of my childhood. It's crazy that this is the closest that we have to an Easter horror film. I wish that other movies would take advantage of like the notion that I mentioned a couple times during the stream of just a creature that lays eggs and hides them amongst Easter eggs. It's funny to me how as far as candy is concerned, Easter candy is the only thing comparable to Halloween trick-or-treating, which I thought was interesting. But I very much like this film. I wish, like I mentioned it before, but I do wish that Tremors, the 90s Tremors, had a bit more horror elements like a Critters. Well, I shouldn't say like a Critters, but like on that level. You know, I'm not saying that it should have been, that Tremors should have been gory, or the way that Critters is. But I almost, you almost forget that Tremors is supposed to be a horror film.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like this, a low budget creature feature, is something that we're sorely missing, because look at the films that I've been mentioning throughout. Critters, Gremlins, 80s. In the 90s we had Leprechaun, which not so much a critter-like movie. But Tremors came out in the 90s, Slither came out in the 2000s, and I genuinely don't know what's even comparable to a Critters or a Gremlins or a Tremors in the 2010s, in the 2020s. I couldn't tell you. But what I can tell you is that we are sorely missing something like this. And look, it's not, like I said, the thing that the 80s, I feel, one of the lessons is not only top tier, because that's something that people forget about the 80s. Yes, it was a great decade for horror. It was majestic as far as I'm concerned. But you had grades of horror. Like genuine, like there are C or B movies that come out nowadays that people try to prop up like it's an A film. For instance, Megan. Megan's not
an A film.
No, it's not even a B film.
I would say it's a solid C film.
I would give it a D plus because it was just so bland. Like look at the entertainment factor here, and I mentioned this in my reception to my video about Megan. People were talking about, oh my god, it brings back campiness. It's like, dude, if you bring back a campy premise and it fails at the comedy, guess what? That's an L. Campiness is humor. If you have a movie that's campy, that ain't funny, guess what? You just failed at what you were attempting at. You struck out. But a movie like this is something that has camp and it does it well. It properly executes that. So, I think that movie, what I was saying about the 80s.
I didn't think it was a bad movie, but I just needed to get that standard of...
This, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
A B film and this. And now that it's there, I would say it's a solid B.
What I was saying about the 80s is that, yeah, you would have like top tier horror, like The Fly remake and Aliens, but you would also have, and here's the important part, you would also have The Blob, which is a classic, but like a lower end. But that the fact that The Blob is like, a tier lower than something like The Thing, that's not a bad thing. It just adds to the variety of the 80s. What else? Jesus. Waxworks. That's another one where the wax figures in a museum, it's not just that they come to life, but the scenery that they're in. Someone would like cross the rope into the scenery and get transported to that setting and time period. Oh. That's the movie Waxwork. Waxwork isn't an A movie, but it's still a classic, and it's one tier below. So again, and to me, that's not a knock on it. It's if anything, that props up that decade. John Carpenter famously did not like his film The Fog. Yet The Fog is still considered a classic. It's not an A, it's not a Halloween movie, but it's one tier below and still a classic.
Yeah. Well, Jimi Hendrix didn't like Purple Rain.
Purple
Haze, and
Stephen King didn't like The Shining.
Yeah.
But that's what and again, not to repeat myself over and over again, but those are not, just because a film from the 80s or any decade is not an A, that doesn't take away from it.
Yeah.
Because, my thing is, like, they're films like Critters or The Fog that are on the lower end of the spectrum. They're still like invited to the party. You know what I mean? They're still they still serve an audience, and they still add to the greatness of that decade. And I really wish that we had things like that, because like I just said with Megan, we get C, D list movies that people try to artificially prop up like they're A's, and that's not the case. But I say all that to say this. I love this movie. It's a part of my childhood. It's always great going back to watch these throwbacks and celebrate these anniversaries that nobody else will. So if you like this watch party, like the video, share it with your friends. If you hated it, subscribe to the channel and share it with your enemies. So what's on the scene for the Mind's Eye Theater and the Greater Mind's Eye? I do ask that everyone subscribe to my Clips channel, which is Mind's Eye Incisions. I just make shorter versions of my long form videos, and please subscribe to my Rumble. What's coming up on the Mind's Eye YouTube side of things, what I call my Cinema Darchives. I do ask that everyone take a look at my more recent videos, A Tale of Two series, where I compared Evil Dead versus Scream and which sequels I was most looking forward to. I am still working on uploading the lost episodes of the Mind's Eye Theater. I got about 6 of them. I just need to mute the background audio, since YouTube is being a dick about movie audio. You can't have those playing because they will strike and block your videos. So that's what I've done recently. As far as coming attractions. Okay.
I'm sorry, man.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
So as far as the Mind Games, so today, this week was the official kickoff of the game that I'll be playing all month long, every Wednesday night, the Alice Madness Returns. All right, thanks for coming.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.
Alice Madness Returns, those will be played every Wednesday as opposed to Tuesday. 8:30 p.m., 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard. That's every Monday. What serves as a lead-in to each gameplay will be two to three chapters of Twisted Land of Oz. So if you don't know, actually, Twisted Land of Oz itself is celebrating a 20-year anniversary. So they made a toy line of what it sounds like Twisted Land of Oz. Just horror versions of each character. and they made McFarlane Toys had made an actual story, 9 chapters, 2 to 3 chapters I am reading each week. So I started this past week on Monday, and every Monday going forward, I'll be reading 2 to 3 more chapters. Today was me and Traumadom's second watch party this week. We did on Tuesday we did a 15-year anniversary watch party of The Ruins. So be sure to check that out. Join us next Friday. Next Friday is what I'm really looking forward to. We will be doing a watch party of the 10-year anniversary of Evil Dead 2013 remake. That I am very much looking forward to. We're purposely doing that watch party 1 week prior to the release of Evil Dead Rise, and I'll be making an announcement next week as far as what we have in store for Evil Dead Rise. You probably heard a little bit of that while we were discussing this film. So that takes care of Mind's Eye Radio every Monday, Mind Games every Wednesday, as well as upcoming Mind's Eye Theater watch parties. So, mark your calendars and say your prayers. I've been Inkarnate, offering a word of caution. Fear the worst, so long you recognize who's best. You're resigned to your fate? Time to subscribe to your fears.